Meeting, my name's Rashai. Right, we're gonna be cooking or baking some cookies. Right, we got the butter right here. It's supposed to be unsalted. This is salted, but that's okay. We'll just add less salt. Chocolate chips, baking soda, salt. We got sugar right there. We got flour right there. The other kind of sugar, the brown one right there. Oh yeah, eggs, 2 eggs, and then cinnamon. That's all we. That's all we need, I think. We are not only making cookies, but describing the chemistry in the cookies during the making and baking process. First off, we're gonna brown the butter. This causes the milk fat to separate, turning the butter a light brown. Then we're gonna refrigerate it until it's re-solidified. So this is gonna take anywhere from 1 to 2 hours. So we're gonna have to wait, and we'll be back. All right, now that our butter is solidified, we're gonna take the cold butter, half a cup of white sugar, 1/2 cups of brown sugar into our bowl. Mix once into our bowl and mix it. And now, once it's well mixed and homogeneous, we'll add some eggs and mix it again until it is homogeneous. This ensures the cookie's wet ingredients are all combined together and mixed well. You wouldn't want to buy a cookie that's dry on one side and soggy on the other. Now we'll take the dry ingredients where we'll be mixing 11.5 ounces of all-purpose flour, a tablespoon of salt, half a teaspoon of baking soda, and finally 3/4 of cinnamon. I'm gonna now mix them until it is homogeneous and where it all looks the same. Homogeneous means the same alike, or an example would be salt water. It is a mixture of salt and water combined with a lot of other things, but you can't see the salt and other things with your eyes. I'm only going to start off with half the dry mixture so that the gluten keeps down and doesn't cause the cookie to be squishy. Once done with mixing to homogeneous, we add the chocolate chips and stir well until well combined. This is an example of a heterogeneous mixture because you can see the chocolate chips, and with enough dedication, you can pick them all out. But they're not all mixed into it. Like if you would have melted them and mixed them, then that would be homogeneous. I mean. So adding the chocolate chip cookies is an example of a heterogeneous mixture because you can still see the chocolate chips, and with enough dedication, you can pick them all out. Although it would take you a long time, you could still theoretically do it. Now we want to preheat the oven to 350. Why 350? Well, it's simple. At 310, the cookie dough will be too doughy and raw on the inside, which would require longer cooking time in the oven, but too hot around 390 degrees Fahrenheit. The cookie will be cooked faster, not allowing its surface area to increase, which means the inside of the cookie is going to be doughy and the outside will be very crisp, depending on how long you leave it in the oven. This is why we're going to stay in the middle for 350 degrees Fahrenheit for around 12 to 17 minutes. All right, so let's put the cookies in the oven and let's see what is happening inside the cookie while it's heating up. So, as the oven is heating up and we put the cooking process begins. The oven and dough relationship is an exo/endo one. The oven is exothermic as it is releasing its heat causing the cookie dough to be endothermic as it is absorbing the heat. So the specific heat of an average cookie is around 45.27. So as the cookie dough absorbs that heat, once it reaches a temperature around 122 degrees Fahrenheit, a phase change begins to occur. The fat in the cookie, which is butter, will start to melt, which means it goes from a solid to liquid. This is an example of a phase change in the cookie while in the oven. At this point, the butter is melting, means the cookie is spreading apart and getting wider. As you can see in my cookies, I had too much cookie dough, so they got too wide, and now it looks like a brownie. But what about its height? We don't want a flat cookie, right? Well, my cookies is flat anyways because I put too much cookie dough. So you want to make sure you have the right amount of cookie dough in your pan. Um, I didn't. I didn't measure them too well, so that's one thing you want to watch out for. So, in a normal cookie, sodium bicarbonate is the answer to your height problems. When sodium bicarbonate heats up, it causes a chemical reaction. 2NaHCO3 turns into Na2CO3 plus H2O plus CO2. This decomposition reaction produces H2O, which in the oven steams up, adding moisture to the cookie, but most importantly, it produces CO2, also known as carbon dioxide gas. This gas will help the cookie rise and create a fluffy, airy texture to the cookie. And now let's take a look at our cookies, which looks more like one cookie and like a brownie. So